Again, welcome to another episode. As you know, under this channel, we focus on getting the balance between work and life, how to be very, very effective at work, at the same time be effective at life. And today, in this episode, I want to focus on some question I was asked by someone in the office where I work, and I thought it would be a very interesting thing that I need to share to the world. And this is a nerd's guide to developing social skills in the office or outside, or an office nerd's guide to developing social skills. If you're a nerd, you know that you can do your job exceptionally well. If you're in IT, you can design a flawless API, you can debug a system that makes others weep, you can develop architect solutions for problems that don't even exist. You're very, very good at it. But when it comes to small talk by the coffee machine or on a coffee table in the common room, or clearly articulating your ideas to high-stakes meeting, you sometimes feel like you're working with a cooperative alien programming language. It sounds familiar, but I can tell you there's so many of us in the workplace who feel like that. As a nerd, your mind is brilliant. You're far more comfortable with the logic, machines, systems, than this nuanced, often irrational world of human interactions. But here is a very critical insight that you need to know. Social skills are not a fixed attribute that you're born with. They are skills that you can develop and learn. And just like learning a new framework of programming language, they too can be studied, analyzed, practiced, and mastered. Therefore, today's episode, we're going to provide you with a guide on how you can just do that. Forget the pressure of becoming an charismatic extrovert, charming. Actually, your goal is just to become an effective communicator that you can build stronger professional relationships, advocate for your work, and ultimately make your career more successful and fulfilling. So I have split today's advice into 3 phases. And I'm going to look at each phase and provide things you can do within that phase to develop a full spectrum of social skills. So phase 1, it's a mindset shift. If I have to use an IT language, or someone who is a nerd in IT can say, you are refactoring your social operating system. Now, every time, let me use IT as an example. Every time you're writing a single line of a code, you need to adjust some few things. Could be your mind. So it's the same way. If you're writing a social code, you need to readjust your internal operating system. That brain of yours, the analytical brain that makes you a genius, can sometimes overprocess social situations. So what is the first thing you need to do in this phase of mindset shift? 1 is you treat socializing as a series of low-stakes experiments. Okay? Again, using the example of a programmer or an IT engineer. Imagine you're a programmer and you know how you don't expect the code to be compiled perfectly at the first try. You write it, you test it, you get an error, you debug it, you iterate, eventually to get that right code. This is what you should apply, the same mindset you should apply in this social interaction. Your goal here is not success, but data collection. So what I can tell you to go try is a conversation with a colleague. Okay, the results here you're looking for is, it can be awkward at the first. That is not a failure. Actually, that's a good data point. So what did you learn? What was a topic? Was it the topic that was too niche for you? Was it the timing that was bad? So just like debugging, you analyze the results without harsh judgment to yourself and try a different approach next time to someone else. Okay, so first things, treat socializing as a series of low stakes experiments. Second thing you need to do within a mindset shift is, I need you to know that the single most important social skill in a collaborative field, especially in the office, is empathy. Okay? It is the ability to understand and share feelings of another person. Something a lot of nuts may not understand. Let me give an example. In tech, for example, when you're writing a code, you're always thinking on the experience of the user. Okay? That is the first person. For your colleagues, you understand that your code will be read by others, maintained, or even debugged by other human beings. So you have to make sure that you write the code clearly. So for communication, realize that your words have impact. Okay? Before giving that blunt feedback, especially, let's say for example someone has come to ask you, for you it's something very, very simple. Ensure that you give an answer that shows that it is constructive rather than demoralizing them. So I want you to understand empathy as the second thing. The third part of these ideas within this phase one of mindset shift is realize that your words have an impact. Okay? Before giving that blunt feedback, go ahead and know that the goal is to recognize that others operate differently. Your communication isn't just about that data, but it has to have emotion and context in it. You don't have to become an emotional person, but you must learn to acknowledge that this layer exists for others. Simply being aware that someone might perceive your directness as coldness in the first step to adjusting your delivery when needed. So, mindset, that is phase one. Then you'll move to phase two, which is your action plan. So here, you put in those social skills that you've learned from experiencing, understanding, empathy and everything into now practical application. So iterate your steps that you will take to build your skills, starting from what you're comfortable in your comfortable zone and growing outside. So what are some of the things that you need to do? The first thing you need to do here is to master your immediate environment. And this is your work, communication, family. Now, a good example, let's come to work, is to prepare one sentence that goes beyond what you did. So if you're doing something, explain why it's important and what it unblocks within the organization. Instead of, let's say for example, you in IT support and a ticket has come to you. Say I finished the ticket for this one thing. Try to say I finished the front end for a new checkout button, which means the QA team, okay, can start testing the payment flow today. So you've gone an extra steps to explain what you did, just saying that, no, I was able to close that ticket. The next thing you can do around this area again is transform your feedback from commands into questions. Instead of this is insufficient, okay, I was thinking about the performance here. What are your thoughts on using a hash map to do something? This invites dialogue. So rather than shutting someone down, you asking so that they're able to give you. Now for you, I know your first reaction is to give a direct answer. Okay? Then another thing you can do here while you're mastering your environment is learn to ask for help strategically. When you're stuck, structure your request like this. Here is my goal. Here is what I have tried. Okay, here is where I am stuck. Again, here is my goal. This is what I've tried, and here is where I'm stuck. This shows respect for your colleagues' time and makes it easier for them to help you. And then another thing you can do under mastering your environment is to find an untechnical colleague or family member and try to explain to them the project you're working on. Avoid jargons, analogs. The skill, this is very important. Decipher what you're doing into a normal person, for it will give you an invaluable skill that you can communicate to project managers, designers, or even upper management. Another thing you can do with this phase of action planning is just find a safe gym to practice. And I will highly recommend joining a Toastmasters club. Okay? If you don't know what it is, it's a worldwide organization that is designed to help people with practice public speaking. It's really, really nice. Another one is you can volunteer, in essence, within the office or within your team, volunteer to present a new tool that you guys are working on or a feature that you're trying to build. Because this is a controlled environment and the audience is familiar with you, you can practice there. You don't need to change a job, but you can seek similar experiences. That's another thing you can do. In essence, you can volunteer for a local non-profit, mentor someone, especially mentoring someone who is a junior but interested in your area, because that will force you to enunciate, be patient, and also find multiple ways to explain the same concept. Number 3 on what you need to do around the action plan is understand the social layer that exists. One thing I'm going to advise is be an active listener. This is what I mean. Practice this. In your next conversation, make it your goal to say as little as possible. Instead, ask open-ended questions: who, what, where, when, how. Your only job is to understand the other person's point of view. You will be amazed at what you learn when you're not constantly planning what is your next sentence. Okay? Another thing you can do in understanding a social layer, I know as a nerd you don't like small talk because it sometimes feels this inefficient and dishonest. Like, can't waste my time. Now try to reframe that small talk into like something like handshake in a conversation. Look at it like that, for it establishes a baseline connection before you start diving into data. So think of it like a hi, okay, in a normal context of contact in a group. So phase 3 are some of the tools that you can use to improve your social skills. Like, there are resources that are important, and one of the best ones are books. I'll recommend 2 books. One is I know you probably know it, you've heard of it. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is still relevant today. Find it, read it. But if you find that this is a little bit backward or far away, there's another one by a lady called Vanessa Van Edwards. It's very, very popular. It's called Captivate: The Science of Succeeding with People. Look for that book, read it. Okay? Now, another thing you can do here is seek professional help. If for some reason you still are struggling, get a therapist, someone who can help tailor some tools and help you get a safe space to practice and do or try to communicate in a deeper way where you don't have anxiety. Then find a community. Now, I know as a nerd, you prefer brevity, precision, data over social status. You're not interested on anything else. It's okay to seek out other analytical people with whom you can communicate more naturally, because remember, those are the guys you interact with, who understand. If you're talking about some specific new language, stock flow, new something exciting about a particular game, and how you're able to know how to work around it. For me, who is in HR, I might find that boring. But if there's a community you interact with out there, they can really enjoy that. So you don't need to be friends with everyone. Remember that, because this is purely a practice on how to improve your social skills. But finding your tribe can build confidence that you can use to apply in other interactions. So phase 1, okay, of today was, remember, your mindset is important, and there are 3 things you need to do here. One is treat socializing as a series of low stakes experiment. I want you to understand that you can collaborate. Empathy is the main thing. Number 4 is to define whatever data you've collected and how you're learning from it. Phase 2 is the action plan. This is to master your environment. Okay, change how you communicate strategically, using here is my goal, this is what I've tried, and this is where I'm stuck. Find a technical person, staff member, a family member, try to explain to them what you're doing. Then practice, join Toastmasters as an example. Okay, volunteer to present, to a familiar team, okay, and also you can mentor someone or join a non-profit around what you're doing. And then understand that there are social layers, be an active listener, and embrace small talk that is in the office or in social settings. And the tools are read books. I've given you 2. Okay, how to win friends and influence people, and also captivate the sense of succeeding with people. Seek professional help if you're struggling still. Also find a community that is around what you enjoy and be very active in it. Now, combining your technical prowess with effective communication is the ultimate career accelerator. It won't just help you go ahead, it will make your day-to-day work more engaging, collaborative, and impactful. Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember that every awkward conversation, okay, is just a bug that you can fix in the next iteration. I hope today's information will help to you if you're looking for ways to develop your social skills. And if this has helped you or you found something new, please put it in the comments for others also, so that they're able to get something. And as usual, thank you for joining me today. Until next time, goodbye.